can't believe Dr. Olga drugged me. That woman is completely insane. What on earth could that quack have injected him with? The Ukels did a great job. The key should work now.
Kate Walker.
Kirk! How do you feel?
Not very well, I'm afraid.
This situation can't go on, Kirk. So what can I do to help you get out?
The best thing, Kate Walker, is for you to go alone. And if you really want to help me, once you are outside, go to Valsambor and try to recover my prosthesis from the craftsman. If you bring it back to me, Dr. Zamiatin will put it on, and I will be able to go back to my tribe.
Can we trust Dr. Zamiatin? I'm not so sure when I see what this clinic is like.
The man has always been a friend to the Ukels. And I'm sure he'll be able to help you leave the hospital and find the craftsman in Valsambor.
Okay. I promise to come back as soon as I can with your prosthesis, Kirk. Until then, hang in there.
Thank you, Kate Walker. And may the spirits be with you.
No way I'm going back upstairs. Excuse me.
Yes?
I would like to leave this clinic. Would you mind telling me where the exit is, please?
Well, usually I'd have told you to go over to the other side of the courtyard to take the funicular that goes down to Valsambor. But it seems Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic for security reasons. The funicular has been stopped until further orders.
I see. Pretty gloomy clinic. It could do with a bit of human warmth.
It used to be the fortress of the Dukes of Valsambor, the ancient rampart standing against invasions from the east. The inhabitants of Valsambor took refuge here and often escaped the besiegers through mysterious secret passages.
When did it become a clinic?
That was 20 years ago, thanks to Dr. Zamiatin.
I'm looking for Dr. Zamiatin.
He's in his office. You'll find it in the small corridor back there, the first door on your left.
Thank you for all that information. I'll be going now.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed and back in service.
I'll think about it. Goodbye.
If it's for a regular checkup, the doctor's offices are behind the reception area.
I've been waiting for my appointment for hours.
I'm here to see my husband. He's been here months and months. The funicular is out of service until further notice.
Why not have a seat for a bit in the waiting room? It's just near the offices, right behind reception.
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. How very delightful to see you up and about. Even if I really have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. Our dear Dr. Olga painted a far darker picture of your current state of health.
Perhaps you should go upstairs more often to check on the condition of your patients, Doctor. You would see for yourself what Olga and Dr. Mangling are putting them through.
Good Lord. What do you mean?
You need to understand that Olga isn't the virtuous doctor that you seem to think. That woman spends all her time looking for unbelievable problems in her patients and makes diagnoses that she justifies through bizarre tests with systematically skewed results. And that's not to mention the treatment she's putting poor Kirk through.
Listen to me, Miss Walker. I know that waking up after a prolonged period in a coma is difficult. In such a context, anxiety attacks are very normal. But please, do not project it onto Dr. Olga. I'm not getting any younger, you know, and running this clinic is a very heavy burden. The last few years, Olga has shown she is capable of assisting me. I have every faith in her.
I'm not having an anxiety attack, Doctor. When I asked Olga to let me leave, she drugged me.
I know. Olga has informed me of the incident. According to her, you were unfortunately very aggressive and disturbed, and she had to inject a tranquilizer. Dr. Mangling spoke to me about your violent tendencies.
But...
The subject is closed, Miss Walker. Please tell me about that pendant you have around your neck. I must admit I noticed it as soon as you walked in.
It belonged to Oscar, a friend who passed away.
I understand, Miss Walker. I myself have borne the weight of grief for decades now. Wearing a token from someone dear to you is a natural thing.
Dr. Zamiatine, I promised Kirk I'd go to the craftsman in Valsambor and bring back his mechanical prosthesis. The poor boy has been waiting for it for ages, so I'd like to try to speed up the process. Would you tell me how to get there?
Now there's a truly noble initiative, Miss Walker. I asked my clockmaker friend Simon Steiner to manufacture the young Yukol's mechanical prosthetic leg. He's a capable craftsman and ingenious. You'll find him in his workshop, near the Valsambor port. I imagine he must almost be finished with his work by now. He makes amazing things. You'll see.
Can you authorize my release so that I can see Dr. Steiner? Unfortunately, I've been told that the clinic is in lockdown.
You will have to ask Dr. Olga, Miss Walker. She signed the current order to lock our establishment down. She's in charge of giving out the passes. This book should answer any of the questions you may have about our Yukol's friends. Farewell and bon voyage, Miss Walker.
How many ostrich migrations have you seen?
This is the third one. I'm lucky to have seen so many of them. It's a rare spectacle. Believe me, the great herd of ostriches accompanied by the Yukols, doomed to blindly follow their animals wherever they happen to roam. And they don't care about countries, wars, and borders.
You seem to like the Yukols, Dr. Zamiatine.
They are a fascinating people, you know, and such astonishing medicine infused with shamanism. Without which, no doubt, you would have never arrived in this clinic alive, Miss Walker.
I get the impression that the Yukols aren't much liked around here.
Indeed. It would seem that most of the inhabitants of Valsambor are now quite hostile towards them. This wasn't the case a while back, you know. When I was young, the migration of the snow ostriches was an event widely welcomed with open arms in Valsenborg.
Why the change in attitude?
Our region was actually somewhat devastated 20 years ago. Dramatic events changed the way people viewed the world. The people turned inward on themselves. They are less welcoming. And the fact that the Yukols have been stuck here, next to Lake Valsenborg for several weeks, hasn't helped.
Why did the Yukols ask you to heal Kirk?
On each of their migrations, the Yukol shamans and I have exchanged medical knowledge. Their trance therapy and materia medica have provided astounding results for my patients affected by psychological afflictions. In exchange, I do what I can to take care of those injured that they can't heal using their traditional medicine. Like, that poor boy who lost his leg.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably. You will find Dr. Olga hard at work in her office, Miss Walker.
Medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature. Super collection.
The American is awake. You must hurry, Colonel.
How is she doing?
Miss Walker is rather restless. I had to administer a tranquilizer, but I'm afraid I won't be able to keep her here for very long, Colonel. She is very quickly going to become a problem.
Kate Walker will always represent a problem for us, and also for our cause, Dr. Olga Efimova.
I can use methods that are more... how should I put it? Medical.
Not for the moment. That isn't a very good idea. I want her back in good condition. And what about the tribe of nomads?
Just like the past 2 years, Lake Valsambor hasn't frozen over, so the herd can't cross the ice. They're stuck here. And also, their young guide is still in our control. If everything goes as planned, soon the Yukuls will have no choice but to go back home. Especially as I have a plan to speed things up.
Fine.
There's also the American detective colonel. He should be arriving soon.
Let him meet with Miss Walker if that's what he wants to do. No point alarming him just yet. But when all is said and done, we're the ones who are handling the young woman's case. No American is going to come here and tell us what to do.
What? Where did she go? All sorts of sedatives and tranquilizers.
Hello, Miss Efimova. I'm here to see you two. Kate Walker, it really is you! What a coincidence. I've been looking for you for weeks.
Mr. Canton, I presume?
Ah, I see that my reputation precedes me. Miss Efimova must have told you I was coming.
No, I just now learned of your existence, Mr. Canton. A while ago, my employer in New York informed me that he was going to stick a detective on my back.
I don't like to boast, but I'm the best detective on the East Coast. Never a problem with me. I've been asked to bring you back home safe and sound, Miss Walker. I should be in Valsambor in a few hours.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Canton. I'm sure that finding me hasn't been easy.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm afraid this might upset you, but I'm not planning on going back to the United States for the moment, Mr. Canton.
To be honest, you don't really have a choice. The U.S. Justice Department is looking for you, and I even have an international arrest warrant for you, Miss Walker. Who'd have thought?
The feds are looking for me? But what's the charge? I've done nothing wrong.
Embezzlement! Apparently you took off with a contract for the sale of the Clockwork Toy Factory in Vorarlberg. And you took advantage of the seller's senility. You're even suspected of being responsible for the death of one of them, a Mr. Hans Vorarlberg, the last heir authorized to sign contracts with the company you represented. That's not negligible. You know, Miss Walker.
This is completely ridiculous. And as far as I know, you aren't authorized to represent the Justice Department in this country. You're just a detective. So you'll have to put up with it, Mr. Canton. I'm not going back to New York with you. So leave me alone!
Wait, Miss Walker. Please be reasonable.
Goodbye, Mr. Canton.
hurry up.
Yes, Dr. Elfimova. I'm doing whatever I can. Get this damn tap open in the end, you'll see. That's it.
Well, that should convince the Yukol scum to strike camp and go back where she came from. Come on, Helmet. Let's not hang about here.
Yes, of course, Dr. Efimova.
An old gas can, empty. What a catastrophe! This thing is stuck. You've got to be kidding. I have to get rid of this chain. Fast. Hydrochloric acid. Too dangerous without some kind of receptacle underneath.
Enganamuk. Tuk. Bikolet. Miss Kitwalk. Sen benu tuk. Minimir Buruth. Ostrich Keeper Buruth busy. Not waste time. Tuk.
My God, what happened to that poor ostrich?
Ostriches won't drink very bad water, Tuk. When ostrich is thirsty, and ostrich is not smart, Miss Kitwalk. She lako, Tuk. Head hard like hard rock.
Try to hold them back as long as possible. There must be a way to filter the river water.
Unganimuk, but Miss Kitwalk go quickly.
Miss Kate Walker.
Hello, ma'am.
You remember me, Miss Kate Walker. Me, ayahuasca. Great Yukul shaman. Me go there and find you somewhere there in the world of the spirits.
So you're the one I owe my life to, Madame Ayahuasca. It's you who cared for me before taking me to the doctors in the Valsambor clinic. I don't know how I can ever thank you.
Tuk-tuk-tuger. Miss Kate Walker go clean river water right up there. Since she traveled long time in magic world, spirits now her friends. They will show her the right path.
Very well. If you say that the spirits are going to give me a hand, I'll try to do that.
Ostrich is soon not controllable. Miss Kitwalk must quickly clean river.
Ladies and gentlemen of the spirit world, if you want to show me the way, now's the time. Just had to ask, I guess. This gauge is obviously for measuring the water flow from the dam. I have to find a way to use this dam to filter the diesel. I have to try. The water is clean now, but who knows how much damage has already been done.
Thank you, Miss Catewalk.
Bayirtla, Miss Kitwalk. Thanks you and spirits. Ostriches saved.
Be careful all the same, Mr. Barut. The dam filtering the water may not hold very long.
Sa! Yukos leave here fast to make sure Ostrich is safe. But not possible without Kirk. Him our guide.
I just came from the clinic. Kirk and I shared a room.
Sa! How going, Kirk?
He's fine. Don't worry, Mr. Barut.
Tuk. So why him not come back with you?
It's taking a while to finish his artificial leg, it would seem.
No, Kirk. Yukos cannot leave here. So ostriches want continued journey without Yukos. Can't keep ostriches here very long. Ostriches cross Lake Valsambor alone. And then eaten by lake spirits. Tuk.
The ostriches crossing the lake, so that has to be a part of the migration?
Tuk tuk. Baranur, on other side of lake, is path of sacred plains. Ostriches lay eggs in hot sand on sacred plains. But lake, not anymore frozen, so not be able cross.
Listen, Mr. Barut, do your best to calm your ostriches while I go to Valsambor. I promised Kirk to go get his prosthesis and bring it back to him.
Bartla tuk. Miss Ketwalk, you friend of Yukol's.
I'm going to speak with the shaman now.
Ayahuasca will be very happy. See Miss Ketwalk. She go with you and around you a lot in world of spirits, so they free you. You not die because of her. Miss Ketwalk, go and see Shaman Ayahuasca to speak about Kirk.
By kilo artichoke. So give me 50 gram walnuts. Cheap, cheap, cheap. A good deal, not cheap.
You know that. You really do have a good nose for business. All right, then. Please give 2 kilos.
What an amazing jumble. Not at all like New York markets.
When you get into Valsambor, drop by my tavern. It's got the best food in town.
What a strange sculpture. Looks like a kind of octopus or squid. Superstitions seem pretty firmly in place here. Sinister.
Miss Kate Walker. You have good news?
To be honest, nothing great. Kirk, your young guide, is in the hands of Olga Efimova. That woman has the director of the clinic, Dr. Zamiatine, under her thumb. She also seems to be in tight with a shady soldier. These people hate you, Ayahuasca. They can't stand your way of life. They're the ones who poisoned your ostrich's water. I think they're also holding up Kirk's prosthesis to keep him in the clinic and stop you from continuing your migration.
People not like Yukuls now. Yukuls out of date. If Yukuls without guide, not able continue great voyage. Return to north and never leave again. And then ostriches die.
Well, hold on. We're not at that stage yet. I promised Kirk I'd go to Valsambor to bring back his mechanical leg.
Magic leg not only problem for Yukuls.
If the lake doesn't freeze, your herd won't be able to cross it. I suppose your ostriches can't really swim. It also seems to me that the lake really has a bad reputation.
Miss Walker see very clear. Now many very, very bad spirits on lake and also after. Baranor very dangerous. Bad luck everywhere. Ayahuasca very, very scared.
There may be another way to cross the lake instead of waiting for it to freeze. I'll find out when I visit Valsambor.
Why Miss Kate Walker decide to do all this for us?
Without the Ukals, I would have died of cold and hunger next to a Siberian river. It's only natural I should give you a hand in return.
Look! So, Miss Kate Walker, decide accompany Ukals on great journey?
We'll see. First, I have to go to Valsambor. But like you, I seem to be a prisoner in this camp.
Ukals not have right to go to Valsambor now. Miss Kate Walker like them. Now she must find pass so that she able to leave here.
I was told about everything your tribe did for me when you found me. Thank you so much.
Miss Kate Walker cured. That's what counts. Job of ayahuasca.
Where can I find a pass so I can leave the camp?
Before, Ukals could make use of pass machine in cabin at camp exit. But authorities decide break it in small pieces, so now we cannot use. Miss Kate Walker should ask client tourists in Valsambor.
Strange the lake taking so long to freeze. This must be a consequence of global warming.
Bad spirits at bottom of lake make water very hot. Really nasty bad spirits everywhere now.
I'm going to try to find the pass that you told me about.
Miss Kate Walker, go quickly.
What a funny smell. A hide. Must be for making clothing.
You don't have a pass to enter the city? How did you get in?
Those ostriches are absolutely adorable. I wonder if I can...
I'm sorry, but I can't give you my pass to the town. Otherwise, I'd be stuck here just like you, right?
I can go inside this yurt. What a pretty pattern. If only I had the time to take a little nap.
Business not so good. Authorities become hostile.
The Ukal craftsmen must make these statuettes by the dozen.